Hello.
Hello.
Hello and welcome to Don't Spoil the Ending. This is episode 24 of our award-winning podcast. We haven't won any awards yet, but I'm sure they're on the way.
Soon to be award-winning.
Prospective award-winning show. My name's Joe.
My name's Nick.
My name's Sam.
Hi, I'm John.
Good stuff. How are we all?
Very good, mate.
Yeah, good.
We're recording this show a bit later in the week than normal. That's my fault. We were supposed to do Perfect Blue this week, but yeah, my DVD isn't working, so we're going to purchase a new one, and then we'll do that on a later show.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was your fault, though. We had plans over the weekend, didn't we?
True.
We had a gig in town on Saturday night, so that normally we'd do it on a Saturday, but we had other plans, so...
It was the Michigan gig that we talked about last week.
Yeah.
I believe the song was at the end as well, wasn't it? So
It was, yeah. So, yeah, give that a listen at the end of last week's show.
Yeah, that was Hold Fast. That was the new one that's on iTunes.
Yeah.
They opened with that on Saturday
Saturday.
night. Yeah, that was great.
It was a good night.
Had a great night, yeah.
Good night all around, really. All the bands were good, including
Yeah.
Michigan.
definitely, yeah. Really enjoyed the other band as well, yeah.
I probably had drank too much by the time I got there. I'd been drinking all day, playing Pro Evo soccer. Got there about 10 to 9. I was like, oh, I'm smashed already.
I don't even think I drank, to be honest.
See, the beers were like 150.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
Yeah, bottle of Beck's £1.50. It's took about £40 out, went home with like 35 quid. It was great.
There was like 4 people that came up from Birmingham to watch the band. I know they probably actually came up for the band, but I love the idea that they came up because they heard the song on our podcast.
We don't even have to assume. That will be the case. The reach of this show.
Yeah, definitely.
Worldwide.
They had people there from Yorkshire as well. They had like Yorkshire superfans, didn't they, and stuff like that. Like so, yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
Well, yeah. Well, have we watched or played anything this week we want to talk about? Oh, before we go on to that, I should say this week's film is now Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Yeah.
So that was my replacement pick for it.
Your favourite film of all time?
Yes, it is my most favourite film ever. So yeah, we're gonna go on to that as our main film of the week.
Yep. Looking forward to that. Getting into stuff we've done this week. We've had a bit of a quiet week, really, but. Been watching a few YouTube videos. Mentioned before, been watching like water cannon videos. They're great.
What does that entail?
Well, it's riots in Turkey. People getting a bit too carried away with themselves. They bring the water cannon trucks out. Bit like English football hooligans. They just stand there with their arms out going... They just get blasted by the water cannon. You just see them like scraping down the tarmac. Just bouncing off the street.
I remember you went on the jackpot route once on YouTube where you just started watching jackpot videos.
Yeah, watching gambling videos and stuff, yeah.
I first, when you first told me that, I was like, that's a bit weird. But then I went and did it myself. I was like, this is really interesting. I don't know why, because I don't gamble.
A weird hole to go down into.
Yeah, because I usually fall into the UFO trap on YouTube. I'll just sit there and watch UFO videos.
Before that one, a year or two ago, I went through that phase of watching claw machine videos. They were dead good.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of strange places you can get lost in YouTube.
Have you ever just clicked on like the recommend down the side and you keep clicking them and then you're in the really weird dark place of YouTube and you don't know how to get out of it?
Mine's usually like cyclist helmet cams where they get cut off by cars and then we get sick of them out. They're good.
Well, there's another one that we were talking about at work the other week where a woman had a dash cam and these two chances. It's one of these where she was just driving down the road and a guy like had a moped, but he was running alongside the moped, hoping she'd run into the back of them. She stops her car and they run backwards with the moped and dive onto the bonnet of the car, not realising there's a dash cam recording the whole thing.
Yeah, dash cam videos. I've not watched them in a while.
Yeah.
Specifically, there was one guy I remember watching like all of his videos. He had this really strange, like I nearly called it a cycle. Bike, but
bicycle.
it was like it had 3 wheels, so I suppose it was a trike, not a bike. But it was one where you sort of sit back whilst you're riding it.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
Like, and yeah, he put loads of videos up, and just the amount of stuff that goes on on these roads. But like, yeah, people.
When you start driving, Joe, you'll soon realise.
Yeah, so they can be interesting.
I'm just picturing like a 40-year-old guy on like a kiddie's trike now after you mentioned that, like, just pedaling down the road or something.
Or the part of YouTube where it's like dank memes, where they're all like 5 to 6 second long videos.
Yeah.
It's just really weirdly edited together stuff. When it's gone beyond like a meme, it's just weird.
Just weird.
But yeah.
Just one of the YouTube paths to go down as well. Been watching a lot of stolen valor videos recently, where ex-servicemen in air quotes, turn up to like dinners and award ceremonies saying like, I've served for 10 years in Vietnam, whatever. But then like you'll have one person with a phone camera just like totally exposing them, just, like, what does this mean on your arm? What does this symbol mean? And they're like, and they get caught out and go to jail. So
Wow.
Have you seen any of the videos where like it's stuff like Disney, or not Disney specifically, but they'll do something where every time a certain word gets said, it'll either speed the video up or just distort it a bit.
Oh, yeah.
If you pick a song, like I'll just pick, You're Welcome by Moana. Not by Moana, but in the film Moana.
Yeah.
Every time he says You're Welcome, the video gets a bit more distorted and weird. And by the end of the video, it's just like this weird nightmare. Just this pixely distorted, horrible nightmare.
it's a bit different to that, but Ben was showing us a video the other week of it was Arsenal fans TV, and there was like an Arsenal fan being interviewed, and he was fuming, obviously, because Arsenal are struggling recently. And it was like every time he said fuck, the thing sped up. By the end of it, it was just like having a meltdown. Just going,
it's an underrated part of YouTube.
It was on loop, that one, though, wasn't it? So like it kept just going round and round.
That was good.
And eventually it's just like...
Yeah. So YouTube.
Yeah, check it out.
Like that. I watched the first 4 episodes of Rick and Morty on YouTube. I thought I'd give that a go. I said a few weeks ago, didn't I, that give it a go.
Can you give like half an episode a go or something on Facebook?
Yeah, it was on Facebook. It's like I just find these episodes in strange places. But yeah, I really enjoyed them. I thought they were. It was.
Like, do you have Netflix?
Yes,
because it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Show, so.
That's it. Like I'll be watching more of that because it was just something daft you can put on for like little 20-minute bursts.
Yeah.
I read something today about Rick and Morty actually. Do you know the Pickle Rick episode?
That's the one where the meme's gone absolutely huge.
Yeah. That episode was actually like the reason he made it was because of Breaking Bad. Like the Breaking Bad gave him the thingy. What's the word I'm looking for? Inspiration. Yeah, Breaking Bad inspired that episode.
Right. Okay.
Just a little bit of information. Don't know why.
Thanks. It's an informative podcast.
So, you recommended that a few weeks ago, didn't you?
Well,
Rick and Morty, I think you recommended that a few weeks ago.
I might have done.
I think I remember you talking about it. My brother recommended it to me the other day. I just thought I want to go. At least give it a go. Anyway.
It is a funny cartoon.
Yeah. It's even some of the daft stuff in it though, where on one of them they go into a hobo, they go into the guy, or Rick is the kid, isn't he? Or is Morty the kid?
I think Morty might be the kid.
All right, well, the kid, one of them, basically gets made really small and injected into a homeless man, where you find a group of people, and basically Rick has been building a theme park in a miniature style inside the homeless man.
Oh yeah, I've seen this.
And it's even stuff like some of the rides, and one of the rides is Pirates of the Pancreas. It's just like even daft stuff. I was like,
Wasn't the homeless man like dead or something?
Yeah, the homeless man ends up dying.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
That's one of the first few episodes, that isn't it?
Yeah. Well, basically, this theme park was to showcase like human diseases, and one of the guys tries to sneak bubonic plague out into the real world to sell it to like ISIS or North Korea or Republicans. But yeah, it's worth a watch. I recommend that one.
I do like the sound of that. I mean, that's clearly a reference to Inner Space. Have you ever seen that from the 80s, where they shrink Dennis Quaid down and inject him into a body, and he's got to like find his way through and stuff?
Yeah, it's a common idea, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're building a theme park.
That's a bit. But as
Rick keeps like pushing the Pirates of the Pancreas thing. He's like, well, yeah, make sure you check Pirates of the Pancreas out.
Yeah, I'd heard loads about it, and I don't. When you just take against it kind of thing, I was like, oh, I don't know if I fancy it. But then I found out that Dan Harmon writes it, who wrote Community.
Oh right.
Yeah.
And from what I saw Community, I loved that. And by all accounts, he's an absolute like arse as well, Dan Harmon. But I like the fact that he's just so like prickly kind of thing.
I mean, they had problems on Community with certain writing parts of it and why it was cancelled, and then it came back and sort of. Yeah. That I think it was more or less down to him.
He got fired. He came back again. Yeah, so I wouldn't mind checking it out. Yep.
Worth a watch. Yep, recommend from me. Anyone watched anything else?
Yeah, I've got a couple of games. Do you want to jump into a game first?
Yeah, let's go for games.
We mentioned VR last week. Nick got the VR, so I've been trying to get back into it. But played a game called Sneaky Bears. It's quite a newish game.
Yeah, what's the trailer for it?
Sounds like an app.
There's another game called something Bear.
Yeah, the Lost Bear.
And apparently everyone said it's amazing, but you literally sat there. And I'll let you get back into Sneaky Bears in just a sec, but like you basically sat there watching a screen of like a side scroller game.
Yeah.
Like, how's this VR?
I looked into it because it was only like £7 or something on offer. But I looked at it and it was just like a kind of puppet show almost, and I thought, no, I don't really want to.
Because like, my brother was telling me that he was watching like a review of it, and some guy was like, "Oh, it's amazing. When you go into corn grows around you." I was like, so
a great use of VR.
I don't care about. I don't want to watch a bloody scroller. I can do that on my telly.
Yeah, I mean, I might check it out if it drops in price.
Apparently, everyone loves it though.
Right. Might give it a go.
But Sneaky Bears.
Yeah, I think it's amazing. Sneaky Bears. It's a really simple like shooter game. It's basically House of the Dead, but that kind of on-rail shooter. But you can turn any direction to shoot. And they're just basically bears attacking you. And you've got the two ice cream cones for guns, and it just feels amazing. Like your gun's on your hip, and you have to literally like put the ice cream cones down to pick up the gun, push the top button, and you've got your guns there. And you've got to like shoot everywhere, in every direction, and it just feels great. The actual mechanics of it, I really enjoyed it. It's $15.99, but there's literally only about an hour, 2 hours tops of gameplay in there. If you just blast through the levels, you can just clear it straight away. So I've been taking my time, like, and replaying levels and getting higher scores and stuff like that.
When you're using the ice cream cones, like, is it like kind of House of the Dead kind of thing where it's moving for you, or
you don't move? You're literally just in one spot.
The whole game
for each level, yeah.
All right.
You're in one spot, and everything just drops down in the scene and walks towards. And if they get near you, they attack you. So
sorry, this is on VR.
On VR, yeah. But yeah, it's a great use of VR. It just feels amazing, the actual mechanic of the gun shooting and stuff. Yeah. The only thing is the game length that people have an issue with, but I think it's worth it. Definitely worth getting interest for the experience. Yeah, I love it.
I mean, I obviously, as you mentioned, I bought VR last week, and I don't think I mentioned it last week, but like I played the demo for Until Dawn: Rush of Blood, and I'm not gonna lie, but I was screaming like a little girl. I was genuinely screaming like a girl because it was terrifying. It really was. And like I've put people on it since. I've been like, you need to have a go at this amazing game. And like, yeah, everyone just screams at it because it is terrifying, to be honest. Like you're kind of on a railway track thing. Like it's a roller coaster kind of thing. You're like a haunted house kind of deal.
Yeah, you're literally on rails in this one, aren't you?
Yeah, literally. And like if you've got the headphones on, like you'll hear like a sound over there or something, like to your right, and then you'll look over there, and when you look back to the left, there's just people like right in your face. You're like, and that wouldn't bother me if I was on just playing on the normal PlayStation, but the fact that I'm on VR, it terrifies me because it's like I'm there.
It does feel like it's right there when you turn around.
And on the demo as well, like you're going through this room, there's like loads of giant pigs hung in like the room. And I'm like, oh God, this is really creepy. And then they all just start squealing and moving. I was like, ah! I was like, oh my God, this is terrifying. Honestly, I hated it. Like, and one thing I do love about it though, is like you go down like you would on a roller coaster, and your stomach goes as well. You're like, yeah, I actually feel like I'm on a roller coaster here, even though like I can feel the chair around me and I can feel my floor, but I genuinely feel like I'm moving around.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's one bit in level 4 that I mentioned before that on that game. I'm not bothered by horror stuff, but there's one bit in level 4 that I shrieked at. Like it proper got to me.
Yeah. I want to buy the full game, but I don't know if it'd be worth me paying the money because I'd probably just turn it off.
Oh no, I think you will finish it.
What it was, I bought. Well, I didn't buy. Sorry, we already had Resident Evil 7. and I got about half an hour into it or something, and nothing scary had happened at all. But the mere fact that I knew something was going to happen that would freak me out made me turn it off, and I've not been on it since. So
that's the scariest bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I guess like when it actually happens, I might be fine. But like I think we put you on the demo, didn't we?
Me, Joe.
You, Joe. We put you on the demo.
Yeah. And after the show last week, I thought, well, you would let me have a go on your VR headset.
And I'm aware that the bit I'm getting to, it's the character that comes at you in the demo. So yeah, I'm even more not willing to do it, but I will definitely give it another go when I get more time, to be honest. But
yeah,
are these the horror sort of VR games? Like you mentioned, sort of you turn one direction, and when you turn around, something's going to be there. Is that just is this going to be a tactic for all the VR horror games? Because it seems like
I feel like
it's just everything can just be like played in that you look one way and you look like something will definitely be there when you turn around.
Personally, like I think they could make a fantastic game, just freaking me out without jump scare. They don't need them there, but like you say, I think they are going to put them in pretty much every game.
It seems like it's easy to put that kind of thing in, and that will scare people. It's a good use of VR at the moment, but I'm not sure how long it'll take before that gets old.
I mean, I found out over the weekend. This might be of interest to you, Joe. Of what's coming to VR in the near future, and apparently
Stardew Valley,
Bethesda are bringing Fallout 4 and Skyrim to VR.
Oh well, Skyrim's coming out next month. Yeah, that's confirmed.
So I'm so happy I got the VR at this point, because I am literally going to buy that game and play it, because played that game in first person sounds amazing.
I forgot about that. Yeah, Skyrim's literally you can pre-order it on the store now for like next month. Yeah,
so I'll be getting that, and I'll be getting Fallout 4 for definite when that comes out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking about my experiences with it when I used yours after the show last week. We played the Resident Evil game, didn't we?
The kitchen demo.
Yeah, and the shark.
The shark encounter.
Yeah. You saw my reaction playing those two games.
Yep. Got video of it.
It's quite a powerful experience when you first do it for the first time, because on the Resident Evil one, I was looking at my shoulder to the right and it looked a bit funny. I felt like my head was a bit too low. So it was like I had no neck, basically. But as I was looking to the right, I then looked to the left. And it's not even supposed to scare you, but a guy had crawled up towards me and I actually jumped. Like it was genuinely scary.
Yeah.
And then I tried the shark one, and the shark would come up and I'd pull my feet up because I'm like, oh God, he's going to eat me shoes.
Yeah.
That's genuinely what I did when I played it. I pulled my feet up. I was like, fuck, I'm going to die.
I've just realised I said he'd eat my shoes. Like, that's my only concern when I'm in a shark cage. Half open. It's like, I'm wearing some nice shoes.
I've got my diving boots.
Yeah, it was like quite the experience. I know it's just, at the moment, I kind of look at VR as if it's bare bones, just getting going. I don't think there's that much there for it yet.
I think the same. But I mean, like, talking with your experiences, like, every time I've told someone that I've got it, they're like, oh, can I have a go? And I told my mum yesterday, and my mum was like, put me on something not scary.
So it stuck us straight on the kitchen demo.
I mean, I wonder if like I would have given a heart attack if I did that. So I didn't want to do that. But I put her in, like, it's kind of like the shark encounter one, but without the shark, essentially. And it takes you down. And like at the beginning, like these little yellow fishes come out. I mean, Mum actually jumped at that. So I'm like, if I put her on the shark encounter or the kitchen one, she would have died. My mum would have died in my living room. But I also put her on a driving one, Drive Club VR. And like she doesn't know how to use a controller, but I gave her like, all you need to do is press that button and turn that to turn. And she crashed into the wall within seconds. And she ended up taking the controller, the headset off like after a couple of minutes, and she was really dizzy. So like
you get motion sickness, can't you, from VR?
It affects people differently though, because like I do feel a bit like odd when I take the headset off, but like some people had to take it. Like I put my housemate on, Josh. People know he's been on the show. I put Josh on it on Resident Evil 7, and he had to take it off after 10 minutes. He was like, "Mate, I feel really ill." So like, yeah.
Oh, that's what I've never experienced that, but like you mentioned before, like playing Trackmania Turbo, some of the jumps on that game, like with VR, are just ridiculous. And especially if you miss the thing you're meant to be jumping at, you just fall into an abyss. You're like, oh! It's terrifying. That's another game to look out for. It's on offer now for £12. Trackmania Turbo, so it's definitely worth £12. It's a great VR racing game.
I'll just quickly mention like the free game this month, which is Rix as well. That's a VR game. I went on it, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the biggest fan of the game. Like if I went on with maybe you, like sometime John, like maybe, but like I played it and I weren't the biggest fan of it. But like it's probably like one of the most realistic looking games to me. Like Joe was talking about the shoulders earlier, and like I was looking around, I was like, wow, I actually could have believed that they were my shoulders. You know what I mean? And like you're in like a big mechanical rig.
Yeah.
And
It's a good name for the game.
and you're in this big mech, and it's really interesting. Like when you die, you kind of go flying up into the air, and like that makes you a bit queasy. You're looking down, like, oh fuck it.
Yeah.
And it's like I enjoyed it for that aspect of it. I just weren't a big fan of the game.
I do want to play it because I mean I've given it a try, like you said, and I couldn't really get into it, but. It's an esports game, isn't it? And people have been raving about it, saying like when you get into it, it's great. So I might need to spend a bit of time and actually learn how to play it and get into it. Yeah.
Fantastic.
All right, should we move on to another game? I've recently restarted Firewatch. I don't think we've ever spoke about it on the show before.
Not on the show, but I remember when it came out, you were raving about
Yes.
it. And to the point of I bought it, but I've never played it.
Yeah.
So
yeah. No, I'm playing that again.
Sorry.
go on.
This is one of those games where it like every decision affects the game.
No, I don't think that's the case. I don't
Right.
think it's no, it's less like that. You start off in the intro and you've got a few light decisions, but nothing major.
Oh, right, okay.
But to sort of give you the intro, you are basically out in the forest, and as it's doing the backstory and giving you it's the text backstory basically, and you select a couple of options now and again. But it's about how you're in your late 20s and you get into a relationship with someone. And then a few years later, you're talking about kids, but then it never happens. And this is all over, like, it gives you dates. So it's like 1985, this happened. And basically it gets to a point where your wife ends up getting early onset Alzheimer's, like in the backstory. And this whilst that text is going on, you're flipping back into present or whatever the present day is in that game.
So it's like memories are happening.
It's kind of like
current timeline.
Yeah,
kind of
it's
thing.
just giving you all the backstory as you're walking through certain sections of the game, and like it's a really it's got an aesthetic to it. It's like I think it's quite a beautiful game to be playing, but yeah. So your wife gets early onto Alzheimer's, and you make a decision to either put her in a home or whatever. I put her in a home, but it basically goes that you go visit every day, and then you visit every other day, and then you hardly ever visit. And you end up taking this job in the middle of nowhere.
Can I just on that with the Alzheimer's thing? Just go every week. She'll know no different, will she? If she says like, "Where have you been?" I was there yesterday. Do you not remember? Oh, you and your Alzheimer's. Sorry, go on.
Yeah. Quite. So it's such a poignant, emotional game. Yeah, you're like. Just visit once a week. No,
just tell you've been there every day.
No, so you basically take this job as a fire watchman in the middle of a forest, basically in the middle of nowhere. So it's miles and miles away. You've took that job to escape your life, basically, and you're just a middle-aged guy, just a normal guy, and it's just you go and take this job. And I won't spoil any of the game because I think it is a really good game. Some of it's not amazing, but most of it for me is like top notch. It starts off one way and then kind of takes a few turns along the way, and you're in contact with this woman called Delilah, who's at the next tower over a few miles away, and you can sort of see each other at night. You see like this little tower in the distance with a light on, but it's like a story-driven mystery sort of game,
right?
But it's like,
would it fall under a similar category to like Life is Strange kind of thing?
I would say so, but like without the episodic nature, it's kind of like you can finish that game in like 5 hours. Firewatch, so it's like a couple of episodes of Life is Strange.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't like I said, I'm not going to spoil it, but there are certain parts in that game where it's just mad. Some of the stuff going on,
intense.
Yeah, it's like it's a thoughtful game. Like it's right up my street. That it's there's a lot of care in it. So
There seems to be a few of these games coming out that are sort of like really thoughtful and they have a lot of story nature to it. Like off the top of my head, I'm not thinking of them, but because I've not played games in a long time, but I remember when I was looking at some new games and everything like that, and some that my cousins recommended. Like these seems to be becoming more and more part of sort of like a, whether it's a genre, I don't know, but like there's more of these story-driven games.
it's kind of that game's it's a very mature game.
Yeah.
You're a middle-aged man who's got a wife, but she's got Alzheimer's and she doesn't know who you are, and she's in a home, and your only contact to anybody else is this woman who's like miles away in a different tower. You only talk over the walkie-talkie, but you can say stuff. You have conversations with her over the walkie-talkie. If you say like the wrong thing, she'll just go silent on you, and then it'll come up with the thing saying Delilah's not on her walkie-talkie now. So it's all this strange stuff. But you overhear conversations she's having with someone else, and you can get paranoid of what. This is just an example of what happens on day one. You overhear her saying something to someone else, but you can make the decision whether you want to be paranoid about that. And I was like, I asked her about it. I was like, well, what's that about? And she was like, oh, well, to be honest, it's none of your business. So it's like, but whilst all that's going on, you've got you've got a few tasks to do. And it's very linear. Is that going to be the right word for it? It puts you down a path and you go down the path.
Yeah.
But it feels a lot more open.
I mean, I like that, where you're literally just following a pathway in a game, but it makes you feel like you've got the illusion of freedom, but you haven't really. You're just going down one track. But
what I like about this is like the game's set. So, like I said, day one, that's all I've played up to now on this second time through. You've got this map and a compass, and you could probably go to a lot of different places, but as you go to certain bits along the story path, even the sky will change colour and stuff. So it starts off nice and orangey because it's like in the evening, and then as you go a bit further on, you get to the lake and it starts getting dark and stuff. If you turned around, I'm sure it would stay dark because you've progressed the story to the point where the world's in dark now. So if you rush through it, it go dark straight away. But you don't feel it. It feels really natural. Mm-hmm. So, like when you walk back from the lake back to your tower, by the time you get back to your tower, it's like pitch black out and you've got a torch. But the way they do it is really natural. You kind of have to look at the aesthetics of the game and decide whether it's a game you would like. But I kind of say it's in the same realm of, do you know, like Team Fortress 2 style cell shading type thing. So it's a cell shaded game where it's got really lovely lighting in it. It's just really good. Yeah,
I like those kind of that style, which I think again more and more games are doing this. I think there are obviously games with graphics of like they've tried to push the boundaries and keep going further and further. I'm going to use football games as an example, FIFA and PES. I think they've gone too far with trying to make it look human, that it doesn't look human anymore. And I know that there's a name for that where like I know where CGI it's
the uncanny valley. Is that what you're thinking of?
I think that might be it. Yeah, where it just looks too real. You go there's something wrong with that.
Yeah.
Because you know it's not real. But I think like you said, that the shell shading is like it's quite a nice.
It's aesthetic.
Yeah.
I highly recommend that.
That sounds like something I definitely want to get on.
Yeah, it's on Steam, so you can get it on Steam, get it on PS4.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when you mentioned it when it came out. I bought it then, but you've sold it to me now. I'm going to play it like this week. I'll
even the music and everything, like the music's top notch. It's all guitars and stuff.
No, I definitely feel like I'm sold. I'm down for this.
But it's a short game as well, so you can blast that. The first time I played it, I did it in the whole game in like an afternoon on a Sunday.
Yeah,
when I had nothing to do, I was like, played it, and then by the end of it, I was just like exhausted. It's probably
emotionally exhausted.
Just mentally and emotionally exhausted, because it's not like it's a sad game. It's not like it's a happy game. It's just you
go through a lot kind of things.
It was a thoroughly intense game. Yeah. So it's yeah.
But like Inman mentioned as well, there is almost like a subgenre of these games coming up. Like everybody's gone to the Rapture. That seems like a similar kind of thing where there's not much game in there, but it's an experience more than anything kind of thing.
You know, have you ever played that one?
No.
I played that, and like you say, it's not a game. You're literally just going through, and you'll find. I think it's like it's been a while, but if my memory's correct, like it's like orbs of memories almost, and you kind of go into them, and you can see these memories, and that's it. You're just going through, and then you get to the end. And you're basically just like going finding out what happened to everyone, like why there's no one there.
Yeah, like I'm sure me and you, Nick, have spoke about Gone Home before.
Well, I was going to mention Gone Home. Yeah,
Have we played that?
that's one game that I'm not a fan of because there's literally no game in that. It's literally just reading stuff. And
That's in the similar realm, but
Yeah.
I personally don't think that much of Gone Home. I
Yeah,
liked it
I'm
when I
the same,
played it,
yeah.
but I was
I
like,
feel like I've completed that game. I'm not sure.
yeah.
can I spoil it?
Yeah, might as well. It's been out for a while.
Do you end up at home?
It's like 4 years. No. Well, actually, yeah. You go home and basically you're wondering what's happened to your sister. Is that right?
Yeah.
And you're finding notes all around the house. And the big thing at the end is you find out she's a lesbian and she's run off with a woman. And that's the big, like, that's right into it.
That is pretty much.
That's the big, like, finale to it. But you think she's been murdered or something, you know, all the way through the game. Like,
I actually think that I have played this and I have completed it. I think I didn't know about it, but I think I stumbled upon that really quick way to get right to the end.
yeah, you can literally finish it straight away.
There's a
can't
trophy,
you?
isn't there, for completing the game in 30 seconds?
Yeah.
There's like a hidden key in like a wall. When you walk in, you just go straight up to the attic and finish the game.
I actually think that's exactly what I did. Like, but I weren't aware of it. I just did it. I was like, that was a really short game.
Yeah.
See, when I played it though, I remembered some moments where I was like, something mad's going to happen here. Like when you first go up into the attic and stuff, like towards the end, you're like, oh my God, I'm going up into the attic. But you get up there and you're like,
I think that's what it was. When the ending hit me, I was like, that's it. Like,
I was expecting like, I first put that game on, I'll be honest, I went into it without any idea what that game was. I thought for the first 20 minutes of the game, it was going to be a horror game. Because you're scrambling around outside looking for a key. You walk in, doors start closing and stuff.
yeah, that's the way they make it look, don't they? Like, it's a horror game, basically, but it's not. Yeah.
But
I think it'd been better as a horror game.
I think
But
so.
that kind of game's like, it's right down my street. That is my type of game kind of thing. You know, where you're going around searching for clues and stuff. I actually really enjoy that kind of thing. Like, I know it, like, I was just saying, like, nothing happens in Everyone's Gone to the Rapture, but, like, I really enjoyed that game.
Yep.
Because, like, I do just enjoy going around finding stuff. That's my... Like, that's what... Life is Strange. It's probably one of the best ones out there for doing that, and I love it. It's like my favourite game.
Well, yeah. All right. Should we move on?
Yeah, I've got one more game if that's okay, just really quick. Pro Evolution Soccer 2018
All right.
came out on Thursday, so we've been hammering that over the weekend, and it's great. Absolutely love it. I mean, there's not much to say about sports games, really, is there? But they've slowed it down a lot compared to last year. Even the ball movement, when you ping a ball across the pitch, it just takes a lot longer to get there now. It feels a lot more realistic compared to last year's one. But yeah, I'm absolutely loving it. For me, it's better than FIFA, definitely. Definitely worth giving a go. Like Inman mentioned before, the graphics are getting better and better every year, and it looks more and more real. But with PES, I feel like they still have their own unique art style to it. Yeah. They have like a character model, which looks like just something about it looks good. FIFA's are going for this photorealistic thing, and
It's almost too glossy. Like,
yeah, there's something about it. It look that uncanny valley thing. It looks weird, kind of thing. Whereas because PES have got this hint of like it looking like a cartoon character almost, I just buy it a lot more than FIFA. But yeah, it's definitely worth giving a go. Great game.
I definitely get it. I give the demos a go every year, and I don't always get the main football game, but I'll definitely give the demos a go.
Yeah, give it a try. Yep.
On the subject of football games, Sam, you've recently purchased the pre-order for Football Manager 2018.
Oh,
Yep. I spoke about it.
Oh, did we go over that last week?
I think just when you went off.
Okay.
I spoke about sort of that they'd released the date for when it's going to come out, but I've pre-ordered that off, sort it out. SI.
I think I'll be buying that. I need a more up to date one.
Maybe they can do that in VR.
VR Football Manager.
Yeah,
FMVR.
on the touchline.
You get up from the bench and you start shouting at your players.
That'd be amazing.
Get sent to the stands.
Yeah. So I wanted to clean one thing up about last week. We talked a bit of anime, me and you, Nick. Neither of us mentioned Neon Genesis Evangelion, and I feel like one of us should have done that.
Yeah, we
Because
probably
that's one of the classic animes.
Yeah.
It's amazing. But we didn't even mention it, so I'm mentioning it now. When I was editing the podcast, I listened back to it and I was like, oh.
I mean, to be fair, there's plenty of animes that weren't mentioned, like, which should have probably gotten mentioned.
True.
Like,
Yeah.
there's loads of them which, like, I consider some of my favourite anime. Like, Dragon Ball, that whole universe, I love that stuff.
Yeah.
What else? There's another one I can... I'm really like UU something hack show or something. I don't know. But like, yeah, there's loads of animes which I think are absolutely amazing. But yeah, we just didn't mention.
I was going to say, like we were on the subject of games and like just brought anime up then. One of my favourite games is Catherine. Have we ever spoken about Catherine before?
I mean, we've spoke about it off the pod, but not on the pod though. No,
It's basically like an anime puzzle game with a story behind it where you can make good and bad decisions, and depending on what decision you get, it's who you end up with at the end of the game. But you either go with the sort of your girlfriend basically, or this new girl who's appeared, and like from your decisions through the game, it's a soundtrack with good music. And actually, I don't know if I ever mentioned it before, but this the intro for this show samples Catherine.
Oh no,
video
never
game.
mentioned that.
So we've already got that in the show. But yeah, that's a good game, and I'm gonna play that again soon, I think.
Again, I remember you talking about it, and I've got it on PS3 and just never played it. You know, on the PlayStation Plus download queue. Yeah, and just never played it. But it's another game that I want to play. Like,
that's the best £0 I've ever spent on a game.
Yeah, I mean, literally, my PS3 download queue. I've got about 400 games on there. I've never played any of them. I've got like a library of games to play there, and I just never do it.
Have you seen the kind of anime free game? I think it's this month. And it looks like the worst game I've ever seen in my life, to be honest. It's like it's a weird like anime game, but like these birds. It's like
Hatto Full Boyfriend or something.
Yeah,
it's a dating. Basically, I think it's a dating simulator.
It looks like it,
but everyone's a pigeon.
Yeah,
right.
It looks generally awful, to be honest.
Sounds interesting.
But like, I obviously added it to my library because it was free.
Yeah,
yeah. It's like I mean, I have no idea what that game is, but it looks like a pigeon dating simulator.
Yeah,
I want to play that now. I might actually get on that tonight when I get back.
I might give that a go, and we'll talk about it next.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Have we got any final points before we move on?
Not about games. I've just got a TV show. If that's okay, and a movie.
TV.
Yeah.
So.
The only TV thing I want to mention is me and Nick have watched South Park this week. You guys watched it yet?
With the new one?
The new series.
I didn't even realise it started up again.
Yeah, I didn't until Nick mentioned it, and I watched it last night. I wasn't blown away by it, to be honest with you.
I mean, you say this, but like he came into work today and he was like, I watched it, I weren't the biggest fan, but then we started talking about it and he was laughing his head off at everything we talked about. So
it's not really a spoiler, this show, it's just one little thing from the show. But talking about it, I found it a lot funnier than actually watching it on the show. The episode is all about America's problems and how like people ignore that just by watching reality TV. And like Randy Marsh stands the kid, isn't it? Yeah, Randy Marsh.
Randy's one of the best characters on South Park as well.
Well, I think they feel he is as well, because it's all about Randy now. Randy and Cartman, they're the two main characters on the show now, I feel.
Randy is one of the best characters, though.
And Randy has got his own reality TV show called White People Renovate Houses. And it's just like, you know, like your typical reality TV show, like white people renovating houses. And how like everyone in America doesn't care about the country's problems because they're watching white people renovating houses.
That's amazing.
And yeah, that one gag got me. Like, that was good.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll get on that.
It's definitely not classic South Park, but it's worth watching.
I mean, I'm interested to see because obviously last season was like it followed on from each episode, isn't it? And the end of last season was the episode was named the end of serialization as we know it. So I was assuming we were going back to the old just random storylines.
Yeah, standalone stuff. Yeah.
But one thing in this episode stood out to me as like following on from last season.
Well, they soon got rid of that as well, though, didn't they?
I guess so. So maybe it will, but I guess we'll wait till next week to see if it.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on. Sorry.
Well, I'm just thinking the whole thing of America's problems. I imagine Mr. Garrison's going to be president again at some point.
I imagine.
So that'll come back, I imagine. Like, yeah.
Wasn't it written all last? I don't watch the show, but from what I've heard, it was written all last season that because it's basically they're writing it as if Trump is it not in it, but like
Mr. Garrison was like a Trump.
Yeah. But when they're writing it as if he was just going to lose because Trump was going to lose in real life, and then
they never counted on it winning, and it rolled them into a corner.
Yeah, literally, they had like this episode like written out for like the final episode of the season, I think it was. And then that happened, and they were like, "Fuck, we have to write something else."
Yeah.
Mr. Garrison's going to be the president for the next
That's
4 years.
4 years.
I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion on South Park, but I don't think South Park have ever really done a bad season.
I genuinely like.
Like,
Yeah,
I can enjoy every single season.
in its own right. Yeah, I think like even the last season, even though like they decided to switch things up and try and, like I say, like serialize the the series. Like, yeah, I still enjoyed that season, to be honest.
Oh, definitely. Man, I think it's got better and better as the years have gone on.
Because I'll pull you up on that.
Yeah.
You spent a few years not watching any South Park, and then
I did not because it was bad. Just
No,
I
yeah.
literally just got out of it, kind of thing.
So I
but-
remember us talking about it, and I was like, "You need to get on it," and you were like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know." But yeah, I'm glad you like the latest stuff.
But you know, like where The Simpsons has just gone off a cliff after like series 8 or whatever. This just it's been getting stronger and stronger every year. Like the member berries last year were hilarious.
Yeah.
The year before, PC Principal, they're like for me, those are like two of the highlights of the whole show, kind of thing.
Yeah.
PC Principal in particular.
I'm not sure about PC Principal, but I'm sure in like the trailer for this series, the member berries made an appearance. We might be
Right.
seeing more of them. Like.
I'll be coming back. Yeah, so give it a watch, see what you think.
Yeah, I'll give that a watch.
Yep.
Right, so I've got more TV shows.
Go for it.
I mean, something I've been watching this week because I used to watch. Well, I say I used to watch it, but I used to watch American Horror Story like the first season, and I loved the first season, and then the second season came out, and I got about halfway through and I was like, "This is terrible." I hated the second season, so I've just not watched it ever since. But now the newest season, what's it called? God, it's I can't remember.
Are you on about the phobia?
Yeah, the season.
Trypophobia or something?
No, sorry. The actual name of the series, it's Cult. Sorry, American Horror Story Cult. It's called.
It's got a thing in it from. It's got the clown.
Yeah, he's made a return.
That it's not often that an actual like character sort of, as far as I know, a character turns up because it's the same actors all the time. But
Well, yeah, it actually has happened because the reason I was getting into it is because like, I've been watching a new season and there's only 2 episodes and I'm quite enjoying that. But I'd not watched any of the old ones since season 1, so I thought I'll go back and watch Freak Show, and which is the one with the clown in it. Have you watched any of the old seasons?
I've seen the Freak Show season.
Yeah, I'm watching that now, and obviously, like you say, the clowns made a reappearance in this season, but the pinheads from that season,
Right.
they were in season 2 in the asylum.
Yeah, that's right.
So they do sometimes have
Yeah,
the same.
I suppose they do it more than you realise.
Yeah, like because it always takes place in the same universe. But like, I'm really enjoying Freak Show at the moment, so I'm probably going to finish that and then go to Hotel because I've heard Lady Gaga's actually amazing in it.
Yeah, I've seen bits of that season. But yeah, I really enjoyed the Freak Show season. I thought it was good. It was at times I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm really getting onto this, but by the end of it, I was like, yeah, that was a good season.
Have you watched any of the last season? Not this one that's out now, but
I watched the first. Was that the house one?
yeah.
I watched the first few episodes of that.
I've watched about the first 2 as well, but
I mean, I don't know how it ended up, but the way it was going was it was a really mental concept, which I don't know if it ever worked out, but it was basically the actors and then the actors playing the actors living together in a house with like, yeah, just stuff going on. And then they split the season into some strange way where the first part was like introducing it, the second part was the filming of the show, then the next part was like the filming of like the documentary about the show with the actors and the actors playing the actors.
yeah.
Like, is that pretty close?
No, apparently that's pretty much exactly how the season goes. I've not finished it, but like,
I love that idea.
yeah,
It's just mental.
but like they have just gone down a weird path with that.
It's not worth explaining if you've not seen the season.
I just like that bit there, like, you know, that whole thing about like it's a perfectly grammatical sentence to say badger, badgers, badger, badger, badgers.
Yeah.
Like the actors playing the actors playing the actors.
The actors playing the actors playing the actors.
I like that.
But, like, yeah, I'm really enjoying Freak Show at the moment. But have you heard the theory about American Horror Story? It came out probably about in season 3 or something.
The only thing I'd heard is that they were hoping that there was going to be something that strings it all together.
Well, this was the fan theory, and the fan theory was that each season's going to be a circle of hell. You know, in like the
right.
9 circles of hell, and like now we're up to season 7. Like it's pretty much confirmed. Well, it was pretty much confirmed up until the showrunners came out and went, "Yeah, that is it. It's literally the thing." Like each season there's different. So
is that the thing?
It is the thing. Like each one. So because it's the same actors, you can assume that each of them are going down each circle of hell. And in the 9th season, we don't know what might happen, but that would be the end of the circle of hell storyline, I guess. But I don't know what I'm guessing they're not just going to want to end it after 9 seasons because they've got a good thing going there. So
yeah, I think they like. I've dipped in and out of seasons of American Horror Story, so there's some I've not seen any of, and there's some where I've seen them all. Like I think it's the ideas I like because it's got that's an amazing idea to do a show for this long, and then whether it's something they've only thought about in the last couple of years.
I mean, like I say, the theory came out in season 3, and it's only like this year that the showrunners like confirmed it. So maybe like after that theory came out, they were like, you know something. Let's just roll with that. Let's just roll with this theory.
So that's because not many shows have a season by season show where it's the same actors playing completely different characters every season in a different time zone, a different place.
But that theory like pretty much explains it all. Isn't it? That they're all
I love it.
They're all just going through all the different circles of hell. Like.
I like that.
And like in this latest season, like there was just I might have just been reading it completely wrong, but like there was one of the characters, she was like deathly terrified of like clowns, and to me that was like maybe a callback saying like because they've gone through this before in like a different circle of hell, maybe that's why or something. But I probably was reading that completely wrong, but that might be it. Who knows?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to mention about. I don't think I've got any other TV shows or anything.
All right. We all happy to move on?
Yeah,
I've got a couple of just updates really. Ozark, which I've mentioned before. I've finished episode 7, so I've got 3 left. That's a 10-part season 1. Keeps getting better and better. I reckon it gets a little bit weirder as it's gone on. Some character decisions and stuff like that. Jason Bateman's sort of witty humour. There's almost an inside joke in it that his wife and him have a falling out, and she has a go at him, and he doesn't say anything back, and she says, "Oh, what? No dry witty comeback from you then?" It's just like it's almost as if she's just speaking to Jason Bateman rather than his character. So that's I really like Ozark. And the other show I've watched is Suits. I think it's season 6. I've got up to. I think they've just added either a season or 2, 6 and 7 onto Netflix. So I've watched the first 3 episodes of that, but I just find that so easy to watch, and I blast through those 3 episodes, and I reckon the next 2 seasons I'm just going to get through pretty quick.
Yeah.
So get on those.
I definitely want to try out Ozark. I just like Jason Bateman. I just think we mentioned before in the Central Intelligence pod. I think he's just he plays like the nice guy really well, and the sleazebag really well as well. You know, the nice guy pretending to be nice kind of thing. Yeah, so I definitely want to check out Ozark.
Right, correct me if I'm wrong. I might be wrong here, John. In what's that TV series that's on Netflix? Was he in
Arrested Development?
Was he in there?
He's Michael Bluth in it.
I've started watching that now. I'm like, I think.
Oh, really?
I've just started watching Arrested Development.
I think that's the funniest TV show.
And I tried it ages ago. The first episode, and I was like, I can't get into this.
Oh.
But like, I started watching it now, and I'm genuinely like really enjoying it. It's actually really good, and like he's amazing in it.
Yeah, he is.
I'm probably gonna try and finish that off.
Yeah, eventually. He's like the straight guy in it, but Will Arnett's playing Job. It's just amazing.
Yeah, he's amazing.
He's so good.
I think all the characters in that are amazing though. Like even like is it Michael Cera?
Playing George Michael.
Playing George Michael, who's like madly in love with his cousin.
Yeah,
that's just amazing.
Yeah, and even like the the father's played by, I can't think of his name now, the bald guy from like the Hangover films and stuff.
Yeah, but like there's loads of big actors in there.
Him and the wife, like they're both hilarious. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get back on that.
Like I say, I've never watched it before, but I just thought, I was bored one day. I was like, it's on Netflix, I might as well watch it. And I'm actually really enjoying it now.
Yeah, it's great.
I find that show to be one of those easy 20-minute filler episodes. I've been watching it again recently.
That's literally why
really
I started watching. I was like, I've got 20 minutes here. What can I do?
Yeah.
Oh, fucking Arrested Development. It's on it.
Another one of those filler shows is It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I'm going to get back on that.
I'm talking about it's.
I think we need to rename the show into the It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia podcast. Show we mention it every week.
Because it's so good, Joe.
I've watched like episode 1, 2, and 3, and I want to watch more.
Well, while we're talking of It's Always Sunny, like we mentioned last week that we were going to a Alan Partridge quiz. And we went to that. That was a good night. Enjoyed that. But,
that was good.
But me and Inman and a few other people are going to an It's Always Sunny quiz at the end of this month, which I'm really looking forward to. I don't think we'll win because, like,
I think we've all watched it. I've not watched it for a long time, so I'm just going to try and get through as much as I can in between now and when it is, and it's a couple of weeks or something like that. So
it's
just trying to blast through it. But,
so,
yeah,
but like what Meg's brothers watched it through 4 times. Yeah. And so we're basically counting on him to get us through, to win us that trophy, you know what I mean?
Well, you need to win, Nick. Now keep our record going. 100% record.
We need to keep the record, the winning streak going, don't we?
Can I just mention something from that night as well? We've mentioned Cooper before on this pod a few times. We worked with him and your old friends with him, Cooper. We were walking back to the train station, and a couple of 30-year-old looking, maybe 25, 30-year-old looking people, two of them. People. I don't know whether they were male or female. I'm not trying to disparage them. They were walking ahead of us. One of them had they looked like Kevin and Perry. They looked like Kevin and Perry. Coops got straight onto it. I mean, I'm not condoning this kind of behaviour, just to make that clear, but it was hilarious. We were walking behind them and Cooper just started shouting, "Oh, Kevin and Perry," top of his voice. And that was, I just found him hilarious. I was cracking up laughing. But other people started joining in. Random people on the street were doing quotes with the film at these two people.
There was literally 15 minutes of this walk where
all the way to Watson Road Station.
Where Cooper was just shouting, Kevin! Kevin!
But then he was pointing out to random people who were walking past Kevin and Perry, and they were shouting as well. Yeah, that was fun. Yeah.
Abusing the normal people of the streets.
Yeah, that was a good night. Luke, Nick's brother, stole a traffic cone outside BK.
Steal it.
It's quite an accusation.
Well, he tried to steal one, a yellow cleaning one from inside BK, but the security guard said, "Oh, put that down." So we went outside and got one from outside instead.
Yeah, but to be fair though, he actually asked the security guard, "Can I use this one?
Yeah, can I go for this?" And he's like, "Yeah, go for it."
And you might have seen on our group, that there was a picture of him with a cone on his head.
Yeah.
That was the result of him taking that cone.
Little Alan Partridge nod that was. Yep.
It was.
Yeah, so it was a good night.
But like you see, you're talking about It's Always Sunny. Also, we're going to the quiz, but I've only recently finished the entirety of that series.
Oh, okay.
And I'm really dying to watch it again. I'm the type of person that once I've watched a series, I don't want to watch it again for a good 5 years or something because.
I'm the same as that.
You know what I mean? I want to try and almost forget it before I start watching it again. But It's Always Sunny. I've finished it, and I'm dying to get on it right now. I want to start watching it again. I need more Danny DeVito in my life. I need more Charlie Day in my life. I need these people, and they're the only 2 names I know. They're the big guys, aren't they? But I love them. I've you've been watching it, have you, Joe?
Like I said, not recently. I want to get back onto it because I enjoyed it when I watched it.
It's like, did you watch much of it? Like 3 seasons?
No, first 3 episodes.
Oh, right. Well,
There's no Danny DeVito.
see, I was going to say, you're watching the first season, and that for me was definitely the worst season. Like, once Danny DeVito comes in, that season, that show picks up, and it becomes the best show ever. And don't get me wrong, the first season is amazing, but like there's a gag in it where, well, it's not even a gag. I don't know if we mentioned it on the podcast. Someone mentioned it, maybe. But basically, there's a character in it, and he comes in at the beginning of the season, and he's just fat, right? And like at the end of the season, like in the next season, he's just thin again. And in an interview or something like that, the guy actually said that like the whole reason he did it was because he thought it'd be funny. He just thought it'd be funny to be fat like in the next season and then lose it all again at the end. And that this is the type of people that write this show.
When I watched that season though, when he comes in, he's proper fat. I was like, that's an amazing looking fat suit. Like, how have they done that? Like, and I was like, no, he actually got fat.
But like he just thought like between seasons, like, I'm just going to get a fat because I think it'll be hilarious. and then he lost it again at the end of the season. And I thought that was amazing. Like honestly, like
I mean, that plays really well in the show because they just take the piss out of him all the time for being fat. And, like he's just sat there like just a blob, just like
like in the show he's proper into his, well, he claims that he's proper into like weightlifting and he's really strong and he's like a muscle man kind of thing. So he's like, no, I'm just bulking, I'm just bulking. Then
he gets out of breath really quick.
Yeah, it is amazing. Definitely. Carry on watching that, Joe. Wait until Danny DeVito gets in, and honestly, you will be in stitches.
Right,
like, he's probably the best character ever.
Sounds good. Yeah, I'll get back on that. Got any more? Or?
Just got one film, if that's okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go into a film yourself.
I rewatched last week Drive for the first time in a few years. Ryan Gosling. And I love this film. Have you guys seen it? I think you've watched it, Nick, haven't you?
I watched it very recently,
yeah. First time in a few years since I've watched it. But, I mean, I talked about Baby Driver a few months ago, and everyone loved Baby Driver when it came out, raving about it. And I watched it, and I didn't get the whole hoo-ha about it. But for me, like, Baby Driver wishes it was Drive. That's what, that's the feeling it's going for, trying to be cool and stuff like that. And it drives just a million times better. Just the opening scene of the film where they're doing a heist and he's driving people away from the heist, and he uses like a baseball game, letting fans out to like hide among the crowd. And even that whole, it's not even a chase really, like he's just driving away, and whenever the police turn up, he just pulls up and turns his lights off, and the police will go past, and he carries on driving kind of thing. It's like a slow speed chase almost, it's just weird, but really good. Loved it. That was good. There's a few other bits and bobs. Christina Hendricks from Mad Men. She's really good in it. Do you remember Hank Scorpio from The Simpsons?
Yes.
One of the best characters ever.
Yeah.
The guy who does his voice, Albert Brooks, is the bad guy in Drive.
Right.
And it's so funny, like, just seeing this nice cuddly old man, like, with the voice of Hank Scorpio, just like killing people by knifing them in the neck and stuff, and sticking forks in people's eyes and stuff like that. He's great in it. Have you guys seen it? Did you say, or
no?
Have you watched it? I'm like Carey Mulligan, the actress. Have you heard of her at all? Or she's like the main lead in this, the female lead. Okay. But like between 2011 and 2013, she was in like every film ever, and she's just like dropped off a cliff. I've not seen her in the last 3 or 4 years. And I think she's one of them actresses that has a look that Hollywood likes, but as soon as they get a little bit too old for it and they start to look a bit different, they're like, get rid of him, I'm not interested anymore. But she was in like this, The Great Gatsby, there was loads of other stuff as well. But yeah, she's just disappeared. I don't know, don't know what's happened there, but she's really good in it.
You sound concerned. It's like,
yeah, has anyone heard from Carey Mulligan?
Email him.
Yeah, let us know. Oscar Isaac is in this. Before he became like massive like he is now, he's in like Star Wars now, The Force Awakens, playing Poe Dameron and that kind of stuff, but he was in this in a small part and he's really good in it. And Bryan Cranston as well. We mentioned a few weeks ago that I like Bryan Cranston, but it feels like he's fell into this groove where he's just doing, is it Walt he's called?
Yeah.
Breaking Bad, just doing Walter White and everything he's in. Like,
I said about Sneaky Pete that he's in that, and he's just his angry voice just all the time. Like.
But it's the angry, and I think I mentioned before, the angry and emotional stuff where it's emotional, it's about to cry, but it's angry at the same time. Like, and in this though, it's nothing like that. He's great in this film. It's like plays a crippled kind of garage owner.
Yeah, I remember.
And it's nothing like Walter White, nothing like any other part. Like, and you feel sympathy for him. You know, he's great in this as well. But yeah, just a great film. It's an easy 5 out of 5. Nicholas Winding Refn directed it, who did stuff like Neon Demon. That was great.
I like that film.
Just one little fact they throw up in the film as well, that there were 2,000 heists a year in LA. Does that sound right? Like, I should have
2,000 heists.
In LA?
In LA. So that's like about, what's that, 6 a day or something like. That's a lot of.
I mean, I probably I wouldn't put it past it in LA.
Yeah, just a random little fact. I didn't fact check it, but yeah, 2,000 a year. That
It's a lot of heists.
they need to crack down on that.
Heist number.
Yeah,
You might have just pulled that out of the sky. Though.
maybe. Yeah, but yeah, great film. It's an easy 5 out of 5. Yeah, loved it. Yep.
Cool.
I just want to mention one film, and it's a rewatch again from a childhood film. This is The Page Master. Anyone seen The Page? No one's seen the.
I've seen it, but it was like literally years ago
Like
now when I
The
watched
Page
it.
Do you want
Master.
to book it in for a later show?
Maybe. It's
Oh, it's a novel idea.
it's
It's the right way of doing it.
it's got Macaulay Culkin as the lead actor. Macaulay Culkin, as a kid, obviously. And it's got loads of big actors. It's got Whoopi Goldberg in it as like a fantasy book.
When you call her a big actor, do you mean she's fat?
No,
She has she has put a lot of weight on recently.
Like a popular actor. Like she's definitely a popular actor. And I swear this film was just like like a load of Star Trek actors coming together, because she was obviously in Star Trek. She was, and Patrick Stewart is an adventure book in it. He's from Star Trek.
Yeah.
It sounds full of stars.
Leonard Nimoy is Jekyll in the film, because like it's basically, it starts off as like a live action film, and then like Macaulay Culkin falls into this animated film. In this animated world where like he's on the pages of books and stuff. It's really good though. Like I loved it when I was a kid, and I still loved it when I watched it the other day as well. Fantastic.
What would you rate it?
Oh, I'd give it a good 4.5 out of 5.
Sounds good. I've not seen it for years. I need to watch it again.
Yeah.
I might get everyone to watch it one week. See what happens.
All right. Any last things before we move on?
Nope.
All right. Well, let's take a little break. We'll be back after this short break to talk about Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. All right, we're back. Let's talk about my favourite film, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Yeah. Finally, you've mentioned this quite a few times.
I have, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get it all out on this show. And
Finally onto the 2004 classic.
Yes.
It was 2004, wasn't it? Yeah, 2004.
I'll give you the synopsis for the film. When their relationship turns sour, a couple undergo a procedure to have each other erased from their memories. But it is only through the process of loss that they discover what they had to begin with. This film has a star-studded cast.
Yep.
The Jim Carrey, Kate Winslet, Elijah Wood, Mark Ruffalo.
Oh, I forgot about Elijah Wood. Yeah.
Jerry, don't know who that is.
Kirsten Dunst.
David Cross. Kirsten
David
Dunst.
Cross, I forgot about him as well.
Yeah, David Cross is in it. He's in it briefly, but
Yeah.
like I like a bit of David Cross in the film.
Yeah. He went through a phase of doing loads of cameos. He was in like Men in Black 1 and 2, I think, just doing like a cameo part, like David Cross,
Written by
Charlie Kaufman. Yep.
And
The guy behind,
The guy who wrote the film we reviewed 2 weeks ago.
being Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
Ronda Rousey, yeah.
Which got 5 stars from everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's directed by Michel Gondry,
Yep.
who I'm a fan of. He did Be Kind Rewind, and I don't remember liking that though.
Oh, really? Because my memory of that is I enjoyed that more than this.
Oh,
That's why I love Be Kind Rewind. He also did like the Green Hornet, which is just I'm not a big
well, that's
fan
the one
of.
with Seth Rogen. Though,
Seth Rogen, yeah, wasn't what?
Sorry,
I'm sorry.
I've jumped in on you. Go on.
Oh no, yeah, Green Hornet.
Yeah.
Like a remake of the old TV show, and it's not great. I don't think.
He did a film called The Science of Sleep a couple of
Oh,
years
yes, I forgot about
after Eternal Sunshine. And I've only seen it once, but I remember loving that.
I remember you telling me about it, and I was planning on watching it, and never got around to it. But
Yeah, that's like a multi-language. I think it's English, French, and Spanish, but it's about dreams and stuff. So it's in a similar sort of weird place as this film. He did it straight after, so 2 years later. So he was obviously in that frame of mind for those years.
yeah,
But yeah, so let's talk about it.
I mean, just to start, like talking about John Malkovich, like you can tell it's been written by like the same guy.
Yeah.
like, it's got the same weirdness to it.
I feel Charlie Kaufman. I'm not seeing that adaptation yet, and I'm not seeing her. But I feel like Charlie Kaufman is right, and it's all about getting in people's heads by the sound of it, like literally in being John Malkovich's case. In this one, it's all memories, you know, that kind of literally visualizing the memories, that kind of thing. So,
Yeah, I mean, I like in the film how a lot of the stuff that's been filmed. There's not that much CGI in this film. There's a little bit, but most of it's just interesting camera work and like forced perspectives. So there's a scene later on. This is going to have spoilers all over it. This, but it's Jim Carrey as an adult sat under a table,
Yeah.
like as the size of a child, even though he's an adult.
yeah.
So like, they've obviously just got large tables.
So no, but this is it though. The table's like a really long table, and the table's slanted, as is the whole room. So the whole room was slanted filming that, but with the way it's filmed and the over the shoulder camera and everything, none of that was CGI. That was all just good camera work.
Just
It's
camera
like-
tricks.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like some other interesting things, like it something caught my eye anyway. Like he was sat under a table at one point, and like it was kind of a memory of him being a child under this like corrugated like roof kind of thing, and the table was like corrugated. I don't know why it caught my eye, but like I was like, oh, that's quite interesting. It's got like a cool little prop there, like.
Yeah.
And I think the same thing. Like he sat in the living room. And it just starts raining, and I was like, "That's really quite cool. I like that."
I mean, there's a bit late on in the film where like he's getting to the house on the beachfront, and the house starts kind of shifting and stuff.
Yeah.
And again, it's just a
It
weird,
starts falling down.
yeah, like a weird just way of filming it, kind of thing. It's definitely visually unique.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things I really like about this is you can get that feeling from how it was portrayed on the film, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
It's so for one of the scenes is where not Jim Carrey. Well, let's call him Joel because that's his character's name. Joel's like chasing after Clementine, and he keeps turning, and the roads keep swapping around, and he's basically lost. When they were filming that, the cameramen were getting lost as well. They didn't know what was going on. So even the cameramen were saying to Michel Gondry, as long as you're happy with this, it's fine. But we actually don't know what we're doing now. And he was like, yep, just carry on.
Yeah.
So even when they were filming it, people were getting confused about what's going on. And I think that adds something else to it.
It's like
the
a happy
scene.
accident. It like plays into the idea of what Jim Carrey's feeling like. If the cameraman following them is getting lost, it just helps the illusion of like, yeah.
I think what I like when I was watching it, you can use Clementine's hair as a sort of reference point for what timeline you're in at that point.
Yeah.
So you know where roughly you are.
Judging by the colour of her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I relate to this film a lot, and basically she is wacky. She's completely out there. She's basically playing the Jim Carrey part of the film.
Yeah, he's the straight man, isn't he, in this one?
Like she said in an interview that she was basically playing the Jim Carrey role, and Jim Carrey was playing the straight down the line role.
Yeah, like Nick mentioned before, that scene where he's under the table and she's like his mum, isn't she basically? Is that right?
It's his,
his mum's friend.
Yeah,
is
his
it?
mum's friend.
Yeah, and it's just such a goofy scene kind of thing, but she carries it off. You know, it's
Yeah, but like it's the dynamic between those two, I think, worked really well. So
Yeah.
like I watched a lot of the extras on the Blu-ray, and Yeah, those two were basically acting the characters long before they actually started like filming and stuff. They were just trying to get close to each other so they could figure out, you know, how to play these roles. And there's one outtake where, not an outtake, they were just in somewhere practicing lines, and Jim Carrey literally picks the tape recorder up and throws it against the wall and breaks the tape recorder. So like, because he was filming one, they were basically testing out one of the scenes, but yeah, he was just breaking stuff because they were getting so into it.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about it. You can tell this film has got a lot of thought behind it, you know.
Yeah, and this was at the peak of Jim Carrey trying to be a serious actor once, you know, he was proper going for it at this point.
Yeah.
This is the first film I watched with him.
Oh,
In
really?
a serious role. Like,
So I'd seen like the Truman Show and stuff before this, but
yeah, but actually, sorry, yeah, I still consider that almost a bit of a wacky film.
Oh,
The Truman
really?
Show, yeah. But for me, this is like the first serious role I've seen him in, and I think he pulled it off. I weren't expecting him to pull out Rubberface at any time.
yeah, no, I think he is great in it. Kate Winslet is one of those people that, when I was a bit younger, like I was 24 when this film came out, and I wasn't particularly bothered about Kate Winslet, but the older I get, the more I realise, like, she has a lot of charisma. She's actually, like, really beautiful kind of thing. And I think she's aging really well as well. Like, she looks amazing. Like, she's, 40 now or something. And she looks amazing for, for her age and what have you. But yeah, I love Kate Winslet. She's amazing in this and been great in everything else I've seen her in, yeah.
Yeah. No, I think she played the character, like, to the actual, like, spot on level. I don't think you could have played that character any better.
Yeah.
Few points I'll sort of go through.
Yeah.
I like how Joel basically at one point in the film says, I should get back with Naomi. And he says, nice is good. But then he just bumps into Clementine, who's putting gin in a drink just in the morning. Just drinking gin in the morning.
Yeah.
That's not what he would normally do. It's these things where in a relationship, these things you sort of pick up on. Like there's a bit where she gets right up in his personal space, and his body language, like Jim Carrey's body language, is like spot on. It's like you actually watch him almost recoil into himself. It's the little details like that I think really give this film
that sell it kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just on that, I mean, I think you mentioned that his Michel Gondry's film after this was The Science of Sleep. I think there's a big influence from these two films on Inception, in terms of going into memories, and it's like a dream, like dream logic almost. And just stuff like that. Even the visuals of the houses falling down and changing. There's a lot of stuff like that in Inception and what have you. And I think it's a big influence on that and stuff.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah,
definitely. It's a very quotable film as well, I think. So there are obviously the main quotes that come from the original poem that influenced some of this. But I'll just pull you out some of the ones that are not the more common ones. They have a bit of an argument, and she says, "Do you think I'm gonna fuck? Do you think I fucked someone tonight?" And his reply is, "No, I assume you fucked someone tonight," and that's what causes her to sort of leave.
Yeah,
like that's the way he delivers the line.
Yeah, just look at the little details.
He proper delivers that in such a way that she storms out, and he knows he's crossed the line with it.
Yeah,
and he also says constantly talking is not necessarily communicating. I think that's
no, that's good. That's like a deeper. Just on the Inception thing, just the idea that Inception is a very twisty, turny film, and the further you get into it, the more you realise about the film and the levels of the dream world, that kind of thing. And I think again with this film, when you're starting off watching it, you just see him on the train, don't you, at the start, going to Long Island or wherever it is. And the more you get into it, like layers of the film, you realise that did they meet each other at the very start of the film on the train?
So when they met each other at the start of the film, she had the blue hair.
Yeah.
That's pretty much them meeting
in current day.
for the second time.
Yeah. But by that point, they'd already had a whole relationship that had been erased that you didn't know about. Yeah.
They'd had a whole relationship, and then Elijah Wood had basically tried to steal his identity to
And her underwear.
And her underwear. Yeah, you find out. But like it's one of the moments is he gives Clementine a present, but it's Joel's old present that he was going to give to her, and he knows the script of what's supposed to be said because he's just kept all the keepsakes that you need to erase someone's memory. And he's even delivering the lines. But I like how when Clementine reacts to it, she reacts happy at first when she receives this Valentine's gift. Like, it's a genuine happiness, but then it's like a second later, the confusion sets back in, like, this doesn't feel right.
She realises something is wrong about it.
Yeah, but there's a split second stir she gives him. She looks down, looks up at him like that, and then looks and go, and then they're like, well, let's go.
Yeah.
And it's that tiny detail there.
Yeah, that shows that just something's not right about it. I
mean, yeah.
Well, one thing I can't get made around with this film, I don't know if it's explained. I might not have just been watching closely enough, but like he's got all these missing parts. He's got like a good year or something of his life just missing. Like, how does he not realise that he's not been with Naomi for a bloody year?
I think it's just the relationship stuff that gets removed into everything else stays the same, but you just forget that one person.
Still got blank spots all over his. Like that one person was his life for a year.
But I suppose, like, if you asked me what was I doing 3 months and 4 days ago, I couldn't tell you. You know what I mean? It's like same kind of thing.
But like in his head though, he's got like he's like, oh, I should get back with Naomi. Like, he's not been with Naomi for a year. Surely he could look at the thing and go, hang on, I was with her a year ago. What's going on here?
I don't know. Does he even know who she is until he meets her again on the train at the start?
No, Naomi.
About, Naomi, who was his ex.
Oh, sorry.
Like, at one point, like in his second go with Clementine, like he's like, before he meets her, he's like, oh, I should get back with Naomi, kind of thing. And like that's a year or so afterwards. Well, I'm assuming about a year because he's been with Clementine for a while at this point. So, like. How's he not realised that there's been this amount of time since he's been with her? He's like, oh, I should get back with her. Like, is he just assuming that entire year he's been single?
It's a very sci-fi like idea, isn't it? I mean, you kind of sometimes have to turn a blind eye to the logistics of something sometimes to sort of appreciate it. Yeah, and that's what I would say to that.
I mean, going on from that, there's one bit which. The reason this is the highlight of the film for me because it really caught me off guard. What I want from a film is to be shocked by something and surprised, like to see something that you've not seen before. And the bit where Kirsten Dunst, she's been making a play for the Doctor all the way through the film, hasn't she? And then you find out about halfway through or 2/3 of the way through that they've had an affair in the past, and the Doctor. I mean, she agreed to it, but the Doctor's erased her memory. And that's why she still has these feelings for him. But just the idea of that, I didn't see that coming at all. That blew my mind, that bit. And you should have done, really, because it's the whole idea of the film, isn't it? You know what I mean? But
this was like my multiple watch of the film. You pick up on it so early on in the film because it's the little look. It's the, can I get this for you? It's the...
See, I picked up on the fact that she was into him, but I never at any point thought... they'd already had an affair and erased it. You know what I mean? That blew my socks off when that came up. I was like, that you've got me there. That is pretty good.
I think like when I was watching it, when you watch it in a different context as well, I think you can enjoy it in a different way. Yeah, so I know all the things were coming, but I could appreciate it in a different way. Yeah, and I'm not somebody who normally multiple watches films, but I've watched this film about 3 times over the last 6 months. Like, I just can't get enough of it. But yeah.
Do you cry at this film?
No, I wouldn't say I've ever cried at this film.
Not emotionally, it doesn't get you anything. No.
Emotionally, I'm all over the place with it. But yeah, I don't think I've ever cried to this film.
You can admit it if you want, Joe. If it's not a problem if.
No,
I cried at Creed, so.
No, I don't think so. I think it's just it's an emotional roller coaster for me, this film. Yeah, like I love it every step of the way. But yeah, I don't think I've been that far with it. I don't know the last time I cried at a film. Dead inside.
Twin Peaks got me a couple of times. The new series of Twin Peaks, Creed. That might be it.
Yeah, I can't think.
I don't even want to get into that.
Oh, yeah.
I cry at every film.
This it was not the last film I sort of cried at, but one film that I ended up watching it with someone else, and I was like, I didn't crumble at it. But Dear Zachary, I don't want to talk about it because none of you have seen
I have
it.
seen it.
Oh, have you seen it, Nick? Right, let's not talk.
I watched it on because you were talking about it. I was like, I need to watch it.
I don't want us to talk about it because I want Sam and John to actually watch that. That is the most roller coaster documentary I've ever seen. I can't get across how everywhere that is.
Yeah.
It's even the editing style on that film because it was edited and filmed and stuff by one guy. And he's got a very abrupt editing style.
Right.
So 1 minute it'll be here, and then the next minute you're here. And yeah, it really adds to the drama in that. Yeah, that you need to watch that.
We'll have to do that one week then, maybe.
That's something else.
We have done a documentary before, haven't we? So it might be a good idea to do that one.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that almost got me, but inside I died a little bit watching that because
we've not actually heard from you during this film review, Inman. Have you actually watched it this week?
I've watched it recently. Didn't have time to watch it in the past week, but I've watched the first half of it before, and I ended up turning it off.
Oh God!
Because I wasn't really getting into it. Now I kind of think it is the type of film that I would like. I liked Being John Malkovich, and that was my recommendation a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
So I feel like it is that kind of film that I do like. Jim Carrey, don't have any issue with that. I know some people do with his acting style, that because they've seen him be silly that they can't go back and watch the serious things.
Yeah.
I think, as Joe's definitely been saying so far, like the acting in this film is really good and it's spot on, like the little intricate details that you were saying. Jim Carrey's really good at it. He impresses me in it. I have watched it all the way through since, and it was a lot better than when I first watched it. I think when I first watched it, I was maybe too young to appreciate it. It was
No, I'm totally with you on that. Like, I was 24 when I first watched it, and I thought, yeah, it's good. It didn't blow my socks off, but then watching it again, 3 years ago or something, it was like, I way underestimated this film kind of thing.
Well, it won Oscars, didn't it?
Did it?
Yeah, it won an Oscar. I think it was Best Original Screenplay. I think that's what it was.
Right.
Won BAFTAs, won loads of awards. It's like it got its props at the time. But yeah, like you said, I think you have to have a mature mind to sort of appreciate what this film is trying to do, or you at least don't have to have a mature mind, but you have to know what it's going for. Some people are going to watch it and go, "Oh yeah, it's dead wacky." Jim Carrey's sat in a sink as an adult pretending to be a child.
Yeah.
You say that and you're like, right, well, this is just weird. Well, it's like, yeah, it's weird, but
there's meaning behind that.
There's a meaning behind it. He's thinking about when he was a kid, and he's trying to hide Clementine in his memories back when he was a child.
Just so it doesn't get erased. It's putting him in places that she shouldn't be in. Is that right? So she won't get erased.
It's not Ace Ventura parking his car in a funny way, going, "I like a glove." There's nothing like that. It's not him climbing out of the back of a rhino.
Not even the asshole mio. Not even that.
It's all you have to take it in context. And I think the problem with, I've met people who say this film was like, "Oh yeah, what's Jim Carrey doing? Oh yeah, wacky Jim Carrey." It's like, no, he's really good in this film as a serious actor.
Just one thing that just reminded me now, mentioning it, the comparison with Being John Malkovich. There's one bit at the end of that film where I can't think of the characters' names now, but Catherine Keener is being chased through portals by.
Yes.
Is it Cameron Diaz? Is she chasing her?
I think.
Catch her? And they're going through Malkovich's memories being a kid and stuff like that. And that is so similar to the to the childhood memories from this film.
She flips open a vent or something like that, and
she's
the
like-
camera shifts from sort of like, I'm going to say horizontal to vertical, but
Yeah.
it goes with like the
movement, and she's upright when she comes through.
When Joe said about this earlier, I think I was thinking of that because I was going, was that in? Because I've not seen it.
I
this
literally
week
had that
or
moment,
anything.
and I was like,
I was getting mixed up between two. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
you said that.
But that's so similar, that the whole childhood memories
Yes.
being invaded by another person coming in. It's just like it's Charlie Kaufman, isn't it? So
Yeah.
yeah.
No, but I watched one of the extras, and Jim Carrey's basically talking about it, saying Charlie Kaufman's like scripts are like as perfect as you can get them, but he left wiggle room in this for them to sort of add their own little spin on things. So Jim Carrey says the whole when he's singing "Row, row, row your boat," that's Jim Carrey's like idea. But he also said that when you're going through all the stuff, the killing a bird scene where he's a child and he's killed a bird, because like that's something that happens to a lot of kids where they get peer pressured into doing something like that. And he was saying like that was something he wanted to add into that film. It's like he has more input on this film than you'd really understand. But again, I think I read somewhere that Michel Gondry kind of tried to keep him in line as much as possible, didn't share anything with him, and tried to just keep him like a depressed loner during the film. So I think they struck the right balance for this, because you look at it, and I think when you look at Joel's character, what's inside him is like this really creative, like crazy person. Like he draws a picture of Clementine, and she's like a skeleton with her head.
Yeah.
So he's really creative inside, and he obviously hasn't figured out how to outwardly show this. But then that's what Clementine is, because Clementine is like they're like that's
yin and yang, like kind of thing. Like
she's the outside bit, and he's the inside bit. And that's why I relate to this film, because I look at both those characters, and I've never related to two characters more, even though they're completely different.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely relate to that. Like the bit where he's on the train, just like a real sad sack. Yeah, that's me going Manchester.
I did want to bring up as well that when you first meet Clementine, she starts talking about her colours, and she says this is blue ruin because she's got blue hair. But she also mentions a couple of the other, like, her dyes. One's like red menace. So it's like these things where they're just her personalities in the form of her dye. Like I thought that was quite an interesting.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Wanted to mention how I think I got onto this film. Like, I don't remember exactly how I came to watch this film, but it was in me consciousness. I never watched it. But there's a band called Circa Survive who released an album. I think it was their debut album, Juturna, like maybe a couple of years after this film. That album has a couple of songs where the lyrics are actually clearly related to the film, and a couple of the songs are named after this film. So different, lines from different quotes from the film, stuff like that. And that's what got me into watching the film, because it's an album I love, and that album feels so closely related to this film. You can tell it's almost linked. Do you know what I mean? Okay. So, yeah. Like with the music in that film as well, I'm not talking about Circus Survive, but the music in that film I think fits really well as well. Like the orchestra pieces, like everything like that. It all sounds like
like it belongs.
Yeah, the whole thing feels to me like I don't know about you guys, we'll obviously get to ratings in a minute, but it's a very well constructed film with a vision, and I think that was completely accomplished. Like from start to finish, from casting, music, like camera work, cinematography.
Yep.
Just everything for me, which is perfect.
Have you got no negatives about the film then? No.
Have you?
Yeah. Got me list.
I'm not expecting everyone to be like, oh yeah, this is a 5-star film. But
does anyone have a negative about their own favourite film though? It wouldn't be your favourite film otherwise, would it?
Well, you can still pick holes in it.
We'll get on to my film.
I mean, if you'd made this film like an hour longer, I'd still have loved it. But I feel like it's probably the right length. 108 minutes. That's like a long medium film.
I think that's quite short. Like, I'm happy with that.
That's everything for me.
Yeah.
It's just top notch.
You mentioned, Joe, how did you word it? The cinema photography.
Is it cinematography?
Cinematography. Yep.
Cinematography.
Yeah, that's my one issue with the film. It looks digital. I don't think it is. I think it's filmed on film, but it looks digital. A lot of handheld camera, a lot of shaky handheld camera. I've mentioned before in the past that I like it when a film, you can watch a film and say, that's clearly from 1984. It looks like every other film from 1984. I like that. I'm disregard that now because I'm going to be a hypocrite. You watch this film and it's like, that's clearly from 2004 because it looks like every other film from 2004 because it looks like shit. Like that shaky handheld camera, it looks digital. You know what I mean? Like the colours were washed out. I'm just not a fan of the look of it at all. And a lot of it is because of the handheld stuff. I imagine it's a much smaller camera to do that handheld stuff. But
Did you watch it? What did you watch it on?
on Amazon Prime.
Right.
Yeah. But
I didn't get the washed out colour thing, but you actually would know more than me about it.
It's just the stuff like where the house is, falling apart at the end. It looks a bit washed out to me. I don't know why, but that's my one issue with the film. Just the look of it. It looks like a film from 2004, but in the worst possible way. Do you know what I mean?
I know what you're saying. Like, for me, I didn't pick up on that, but you actually do know a lot more than me about.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. It's just a personal preference, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, like you go back to Dunkirk when we watched that.
Yeah,
like that was filmed in a way you can tell everything about that film from the way it was sort of filmed, what equipment was used with it.
Yeah,
like with this, I can see what you're saying. Like it's
Yeah, again, like I say, there's a lot of new filmmaking happening in the 2000s. Digital photography had just started, and they all had this weird look to them, and it just looks like a film from 2004. That I'm not.
I like that though.
I like it's just personal preference. You can like it.
But I'm not even talking about like the filming style. I like that you can watch this and think, this is from 2004.
Yeah.
We said it about The Crow last week.
Yeah.
That's 1994, and all of us sat here said, yeah, well, that's obviously from 1994.
Yeah, again, that's a personal preference thing. I just like the look of those kind of films from 1994 because they look like they're shot on film and they have a lot of digital matte paintings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But this one, it's just I'm not a big fan of the look of it. But
I know what you're saying, and I think that might be my gripe with the film. It almost, like you're saying, the handheld it's like they've picked up a camera and started filming with the stuff that they had about. I'm not sure whether like it's colour graded afterwards or whatever like that, because there doesn't seem to be any theme to it.
I think it's the colour grading,
or whether it wasn't produced with any sort of like, well, this needs to be this colour in this part of the scene. It just seemed like that. Maybe it wasn't thought about, or whether they thought, well, maybe it doesn't need to be thought about.
Yeah.
So, but I'm going to go back to Ozark. There's a definite theme that runs through that, and they clearly think about that through all parts of it.
Yeah,
I'm not sure whether it doesn't come across in Eternal Sunshine. I don't think, but maybe it doesn't. Maybe it doesn't have to.
That's it. We're going to get to ratings in a minute, but it might not even matter what it looks like. But just for me, I'd rather it looked a certain way. Like Alien Covenant's come out this week on Blu-ray. No matter what you say about that film, it looks like a film from 2017. It looks digital, but it looks amazing. You know what I mean? Like Ridley Scott uses technology to his advantage, and it's a great looking film. Whereas this one, I'm just not a fan of the look of it, kind of thing. But
I disagree, but I can see your point.
Yep.
We got any final thoughts before we go on to ratings?
I don't think I have. Just a quick mention: budget 20 million, made 72.3 million worldwide. So made a hefty chunk of change there. 50 million, Yeah, did okay.
Did good.
Yep.
Good. Yeah.
And
Award winning.
We mentioned Be Kind Rewind. I'm dying to go back and watch that again now.
I'm going to watch that again. I'm going to watch that and The Science of Sleep, because The Science of Sleep was very much a film that I watched once, loved, never watched it again, because it's like 2.5 hours long, I think it is.
Yeah.
Be Kind Rewind, I never liked that the first time, but I might give that another go.
Was that the one starring Jack Black?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I actually feel like,
Steph,
I feel like I actually enjoyed that when I watched it.
I loved it.
I've not watched it in years and years. But.
The bit where they remake Ghostbusters, I was just howling laughing at that bit.
I think that went over my head, that film. I think it did. Because I just named 2 films there, which are probably both in my top 10. My number 1, and then it'll be the other, like Science of Sleep will be in there. I will go back and watch Be Kind Rewind and just see how I feel about it.
I've got it on Blu-ray. If you want to lend it,
yeah, I'll do that. Bring it in.
Cool.
All right. Well, let's give ratings. Did we say we were allowing 1 6-star film per person per like.
I feel, is that for new films? That I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. I'm giving this full marks basically.
Yeah, no,
Like
that's
if
cool.
I can't give it a 6, it's getting a 5 out.
I'll give it a 6.
6 out of 5.
This is your 6 for 2004, basically.
Yes, yeah. This is my go-to film. Like everything from the concept, like the acting, yeah, just everything about that film. I love. It's amazing. It's my favorite film. Nick, what would you?
I mean, I loved it. I actually did really like the film. Like I love Jim Carrey, like in pretty much anything I've ever seen him in. Yeah, it was a bit gobbledygook at times, but like I got my head around it. Like I remember the first time I watched it, like I just didn't know what to make of the film at all. But watching it again, I definitely made a lot more sense of it than I did the first time. I'll probably just give it a 4 out of 5.
Cool.
Nothing too small, but nothing too great.
Sam?
I think I'm really torn on what I'm going to give it. Because I can appreciate how well the film is put together and everything like that, and the acting that's in it, and the storyline, and everything like that,
yeah.
the script. There's just something personal for me where I'm like, I'm not drawn to this film, and I don't feel like that I have to watch that again or anything like that.
You can appreciate it without liking it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
But then that's where I'm torn with the rating because
what's
I
your
can
personal rating?
Personal rating 3.5, but I can.
Ooh.
I think that's a weak mark. But
It probably is. But I can definitely appreciate why someone like yourself would give it a 5 out of 5 or 6 out of 6 in your case, like why it can be someone's favourite film. So, but for me personally, maybe 3.5 is harsh, but
it's your rating. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'd rate your favourite film about a 1.
Taken, coming soon.
So like, like I said, you can appreciate about actually liking it.
yeah, I'll go with that.
3.5, yeah. Yep. John?
Yeah.
Defo.
John, what would you give it?
I mean, I feel a bit like Inman in that it's a balancing act between personal taste and showing appreciation for a film. I can't think of an example now, but you can appreciate a film while still disliking it. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
But you can appreciate why people... Well, Shawshank Redemption. I can appreciate why people love that film, but I don't like it. Well, actually, no, I can't appreciate that, why people like... Yeah, forget that. But with this one, for me, it's a light 5. The reason I'm saying that is it's not like being John Malkovich is a heavy 5. I think that's better than this film, but there's barely anything... You know, when you look at it with a critical eye, there's nothing you can really throw at this film other than the look, which is just personal preference, you know that kind of thing. So yeah, it's a lighter 5, but it's a 5 out of 5. Yeah.
Yeah, like you're saying critically, I just want to clear up what I'm saying. Critically, if I was watching this, I'd be giving it 4.5, maybe a 5. Personally, for me, it's not something I would want to go back and watch or anything like that. It's a 3.5.
Yeah.
I find it a good film, but
You see, I'm like that. I'm not going to go back anytime soon to watch it, but that isn't a negative for me.
right, okay.
You know what I mean? I can still give a film like we watched The Lost City of Z the other week. I'll probably never watch that again, but
I
gave it a 5.
Yeah, I'm saying.
You know what I mean?
See, I could go on now and watch Eternal Sunshine again tonight, even though I watched it yesterday. Like, I could do this podcast every single week about Eternal Sunshine.
Find something new every week to talk about.
Yeah, I'd talk about each different scene every week. But
I think in future we could have a discussion about rating. It's just how we look at how we rate stuff. You know what I mean? That probably sounds like the most crap, like, you know.
Maybe it's something for off the podcast.
Do you reckon?
I don't know.
It could be interesting. It could be an absolute nightmare. But
Well, we've had absolute
I reckon
nightmare
we could
shows
do it.
before, so
yeah.
you know. Remember that comic book one?
Oh yeah.
That went on far too long. It was like a 4-hour
What
show.
about I Am Legend? That didn't go down.
Yeah, that was Thanks, Sam, for picking that one.
I feel like it was less about the film.
Right, all right. Let's box it off. Nick, have you got the social media stuff?
Am I the one doing that this week?
Yes.
Okay. We can be found at Twitter. What?
Yeah, just check Twitter. We're on there. Yeah.
At symbol Twitter. It's not actually Twitter.
Or we can be found on Twitter even at DST Podcast.
I can actually be found at Twitter headquarters. If you're looking for me, just head there.
Like we've also got a Facebook, which is facebook.com/DST Podcast. Got an Instagram if you care, which is
I do now. I've got one.
DST Podcast and the number 4.
I'm going to have a look at fixing that. That's surely fixable.
Yeah, it should be. But we've got that. Personally, I can be found at DST Nick on Twitter.
I am Rubik's Football on Twitter.
I'm at Taylor1980, and just to throw out there as well, we've got the Gmail account, email address. Don't spoil the ending at gmail.com. Email us there, please.
Please email.
Please.
Yeah, I'm on Twitter. Yeah, it's Joe. YEHITSJOE. That's all our social media out of the way, isn't it?
Yep.
All right. Well, all right, John, you got your hand up.
One more thing.
One more thing.
One more thing.
Now, you need to get a shirt. That should be our first t-shirt, that.
Well,
One more thing. ...
You might find this funny, but I'm actually looking into doing a stand-up comedy routine.
Oh, aye.
That could be the name of my show. One more thing.
Yeah?
Oh, just one more thing.
I like it.
Yeah.
Are you being serious?
Yeah, I'm currently making notes of everything in the office that's going on.
What it is, John keeps like in work, he keeps just talking about maybe his like stepdad or like certain like Cooper or something.
Yeah, Cooper's sayings. Yeah,
like some things that people are saying, and he's actually pulling it off really well. And I genuinely think if John went on to a stand up like open mic night, he might actually get a few laughs. So
You definitely would.
the F1 driver Rubens Barrichello.
Yeah.
He's not called Barrichello, is he?
Well, some like
No, he's not called Barrichello.
in like Italy and stuff, they call him Rubens Barrichello.
Oh yeah, we're not in Italy though, are we? So
No, around here we call him Barrichello.
my sister will appreciate this. Yeah, my stepdad calls him Barrichello. Winds me up fucking nowhere. He doesn't even drive anymore. It still winds me up. Yeah, so
Why
that's
is he still talking about Rubens?
so that'd be part of the stand-up routine.
I like it.
Yeah, but sorry, I've got off track here a bit. Yeah, so I'm doing a comedy show, so come and watch that, everyone. But before then,
give details. When were?
oh sorry, I've not actually got any details yet. But
Details to be
Plug it
announced.
when you plug it.
yeah, well, I've got more details.
TBC.
I'll come back to you.
Venue TBC. Date TBC.
But in the meantime, can I pick a film for next week?
yeah, you
Of course you can.
Coming up to Halloween, Stephen King's very big at the moment. He's got It in theatres, doing really well.
What's he got in theaters?
What's
What's he got?
It's in theatres. And The Dark Tower. That didn't do so well, but it's in theatres. So on that theme, the Halloween King theme, I want us to do The Mist for next week.
Oh yes.
Oh
It's on
yeah,
Amazon.
I'm well down for
It's
that.
on Amazon
yeah.
Prime, so
I'm happy with that.
yeah.
Missed it is. I'm happy with that. Yeah.
Don't miss it.
Oh, I was going to do that.
All right. Any final things before we go?
No.
No.
Hold on.
All right. Well, thanks for listening. If you got this far,
Thanks very much.
yeah. Cheers, and we'll speak to you next week.
Cheers. Bye.
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 I've got Frodo written down in my notes because I forgot what his name is.